So, good evening and welcome everyone for the online panel discussion on soybean and other oil meal demand and supply outlook, present and future. I, Neeraj Kumar Srivastava, Chairman CRAFMA, going to moderate today's session. CRAFMA is the Compound Livestock Feed Manufacturers Association of India, which represents the manufacturers of nutritionally balanced and scientifically compounded feed for cattle, poultry, fish, prawns, and other animals that is catering to the fast-growing animal protein needs in the country. The association has more than 240 members from all subsectors of the livestock industry, such as producers, animal nutrition and healthcare, veterinary services, processing, distribution, and retailing of meat. Now, let me give some background of today's session. India is fifth largest in animal feed production in the world. Livestock plays an important role in Indian economy. It also provides employment to about 8.8% of the population in India and contributes 4.11% GDP and 5.6% of the total agri GDP. This number would have changed post-COVID and the present situation. We also produce around 25 million metric ton of poultry feed and need almost 5 million metric ton of soybean meal every year. Soybean meal prices acts as benchmark for prices of other oil meals and protein source of animal origin. India is self-sufficient in maize and soybean meal production, but speculations in market have increased SBM prices lately. Even GM soybean are neither grown in India nor allowed to import. In 2021, post-COVID, there has been a sea change in the agri world, which is changing the entire supply-demand scenario for commodities across the globe. As a result of that, soybean seed prices have gone up to more than 7,070 rupees, I mean to say that, which is just double. And soybean meals today, I just got the update, is trading at 62,500 rupees, okay, which was 28 to 30 rupees earlier, which has resulted to huge uncertainty and ambiguity in livestock producers' mind. Due to this sudden spurt in the soya market, the livelihood of the poultry and the dairy farmers have been affected very much. For today's session, we have invited the key people from both demand and supply sectors who are going to give their expert opinion on this burning topic. I'm really glad to have Dr. Davish Jain. So both, can you just spotlight Dr. Davish Jain and make him audio also? So welcome, Dr. Dr. Jain is a man full of experience and qualification. DSc, DLIT, MPhil, PhD, and MBA are few of his accreditations. He is president of Prestige Group of Industries, a business magnate of agri-business in India, focusing on soybean industry and exporting to more than 40 countries in the world. Currently, he is chairman of Prestige Education Trust and chairman of COPA for the third time. He has a big list of accomplishments which may take a lot of time for me to read. I welcome Dr. Jain as a panelist for today's session. Our second panelist for today is Dr. B.B. Mehta. Yeah. So, Dr. Mehta is a very popular man of oil meal sector, a recipient of Globe Oil Man Award of the year 2015. Dr. Mehta is LM and PhD in Food Science and Technology, Executive Director of CA, and representing Indian vegetable oil industry on numbers of committees set up by Government of India in 4 decades. As an Executive Director of SCA, he has organized many national conferences, doctors meet, workshops, press conferences, at national and international conferences of rice bran oil promotes its usage in India. I welcome Dr. Mehta. Our third panelist for today is Mr. Bahadur Ali. He is known as the father of modern Indian poultry, a man of the people, a visionary leader, and a great human being. He envisioned the easy availability of protein as an eminent source of nutrition at an affordable price to Indian population. His efforts has put Rajnandgaon and Chhattisgarh on a global map, driving the education CSR for the unprivileged by educating more than 7,500 children free of cost under Ajiz Public School and Ajiz Trust, and making the future of the country strong. Bahadur Ali, chairman of All India Poultry Breeder Association, which coordinates between the poultry sector and the policymakers in India. Our next speaker today is Mr. B. Soundarajan. So both can we have Soundarajan sir on the spotlight? Yeah. So popularly known as a BSR, is the first generation entrepreneur hailing from a village near Coimbatore. His life motto is reaching lives of rural India. He currently serves as chairman and managing director at Sona Holdings Private Limited and director in various companies' board. He is past chairman of Klafma too. His business interest lies in poultry, animal health care, and dairy segments. He has also globalized the Sugna business activities by venturing abroad. Under his leadership, Sugna Food has provided livelihood to 45,000 plus farmers and has been ranked number 3 in Asia's top poultry producer and ranked 9 largest poultry company globally. We welcome Mr. Soundarajan for this meeting.
Good evening to everyone.
Our next speaker for the day is Mr. B. Mastan Rao, popularly known as BMR. I don't know whether he has joined.
Join किया है उन्होंने, but he has not started a video.
Okay, so you can just turn his video. Okay. So Mr. BMR is the chairman of Shrimp Feed Millers Association, a recently formed association of aqua sector, fondly known as father of Venomy, Dr. BM Rao, an ex-MLA and running currently BMR Group of Industries with more than 4,000 crores turnover. Do we have Dr. Krishnaya also?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. So let me just skip and go ahead to the next. So we have got last panelist for today is our session is Dr. Dinesh Bhosle. Dr. Dinesh is PhD in Animal Nutrition from IVRI, a former chairman of Klafma and Vice President of Poultry Federation of India, West Zone. Dr. Dinesh is also President of VIP with a rich experience in soya industry, working as Technical Director of ASA for 8 years, currently working as Regional Sales Director, South Asia for AB Vista. Welcome to Dr. Dinesh. We are live on Klafma Facebook and Hybis TV, which is more than 5 lakh subscribers is there, and they can always, if they don't get in the Zoom, they can see that. Now, let us start today's session, and our first question is going to be Dr. Davish Jain.
Namaskar.
So, Davish, can we have Dr. Davish Jain? So, Dr. Jain, can you please give complete scenario of current situation of soya meal availability, next 6 months situation, export data and future outlook, and how SOPA is planning to support users of soybean meal in country? And one more question I'm going to add here is that what action SOPA has taken to increase the productivity of soybean in the country?
Sure.
Over to you, sir.
Namaskar. Very good evening and warm welcome to all our distinguished panelists, including Mr. B. Soundarajan, Managing Director of Sugna Holdings, Dr. Bahadur Ali, Chairman of All India Poultry Breeders Association, Dr. B.B. Mehta, Executive Director of Solvent Trade Association of India, Dr. Dinesh Bhosle, past Chairman Klafma, Mr. B.M. Rao from the Shrimp Feed Millers Association, and last but not the least, Mr. Neeraj Kumar Srivastava of Klafma and moderator of this important session. Thank you for inviting me in this very timely and relevant panel discussion on soybean, oil meal, and oil meal demand and supply outlook. I expect that we shall not only discuss the immediate impact on soybean processors and soybean farmers with the poultry industry or the feed industry, but also look at the far-reaching benefits. Besides being the chairman of SOPA, the Soybean Processors Association of India, headquartered in Indore, I'm also a soya entrepreneur and had raised concerns about crisis of soya processors and farmers at various platforms, including before the government from time to time, as you all might be knowing. I've been processing soybean for over 4 decades now and selling soy meal in domestic and overseas markets. Not only is it is the biggest source of protein for poultry and aquaculture industry, it is the excellent source with a very rich amino acids profile. Over the years, soybean farmers, soybean processors, and vendors of soya meal and the poultry industry have faced good and bad times. But this corona epidemic is an unprecedented global crisis. I consider it the third world war, a war in which not a single bullet and a missile was fired, but millions of people died. The economy of all the countries of the world went down sharply. The economy of North and South Americas, China and India, the largest producers and consumers of soybean, have suffered the most damage from corona. Demand and supply of soybean and other oil meals have to be understood by all of us in the backdrop of COVID epidemic. Let me try to explain this, friends. The poultry and aquaculture industry, as per our estimates, needs about 5 million tons of soya meal annually. To produce this much, soybean processors need 65 lakh tons or 6.5 million tons of soybean seeds. However, amidst the historic rise in soybean prices in the country this year and subsequent rise in soy meal prices, which has risen by almost 50% from about rupees 35 to rupees 58 per kg, the demand for soya meal from poultry industry in the country has declined. As per the latest demanded supply of soybean meal and soybean provided by SOPA as of 1st of April this year, soybean meal consumption for feed industry in the country between October 2020 to March 2021 has declined to 27 lakh tons, that is 2.7 million tons against 29.25 lakh tons, that is 2.925 million tons during the same period last year. Amidst falling demand for soya meal from poultry sector and steep hike in soybean prices, SOPA has lowered poultry demand estimate for soybean meal for feed this year by 1 lakh tons. Because of declining domestic demand for soybean meal, SOPA has also lowered soybean crushing estimate in the country this year to 93.5 lakh tons, that is 9.35 million tons against 95 lakh tons or 9.5 million tons. However, contrary to declining demand for soybean meal for the feed, export of soybean meal from the country has recorded a sharp rise compared to the previous year. Production of soy meal in the country between October 2020 and March 2021 has risen to 46.69 lakh tons or 4.7 million tons against 36.21 lakh tons, that is 3.62 million tons last year. Similarly, soybean meal export this year till March in the first 9 months rose to 15.94 lakh tons or 1.6 million tons against 4.23 lakh tons, that is 0.423 million tons during the same period last year. With soybean prices in the country this year zooming past previous year's records, SOPA has increased estimated demand for soybean seeds for sowing this year by 1 lakh tons, as farmers this year are retaining soybeans sowing for the next crop. To me, rise in soybean and soybean meal prices in the country is mainly because soybean farmers sold soybeans to soybean processors at a price quite higher than MSP. This is good for farmer as it has helped them get a hefty return on soybean farming. Getting higher prices for soybean will certainly help farmers to further increase the acreage under soybean farming next year. Hence, I do not subscribe to the recent demand made by the All India Poultry Breeders Association for import of 12 lakh tons of soybean to in uptrend of the soybean and soya meals. Giving boost to domestic farming will be in the long-term interest of soybean farmers, soy meal end users, and soya processing industries, as it will arrest uptrend in soy meal prices in the time to come, leading to rise in demand from the poultry and aquaculture industry. Not only soybean processors, every industry in the country had to pay high prices for getting sufficient raw material during the COVID year. The poultry industry is paying a higher price for soya meal. As a result of this, poultry products have also become expensive. All the countries of the world have distributed cash to their citizens to recover from the impact of this pandemic. Liquidity has increased in the market. But during this epidemic, people did not spend it on immediate consumption, but instead invested in the money in shares and stock markets, more particularly in commodities market or real estate.
So
People are buying their personal vehicles.
Dr. Jain, you need to make it little fast because we have limited time. And
So
I request you to focus actually on the current situation of the soya meal, and if you can just highlight some of those things.
Sure, sir. With the huge stimulus packages which were introduced by the respective countries of governments all over the world, a lot of funds are seen floating around chasing commodities in commodity markets and in physical markets and the investments in other stock and real estate. But majority of has been the funds going long in holding agri commodities, which has seen a bull run on the complex as well. Moreover, there was a loss of production in Argentina, which is the largest exporters of soya meal and soya oil in the world, because their production in generally which was hovering around 55 to 60 million tons is now stated to be between 43 and 45 million tons. With this adverse effect on soybean produced in Brazil and heavy drawdown on the US American soybean stocks, with their exports zooming to 250% rise in 1 year with their soybean exports to China. This all has resulted in soaring effect on the prices. The Indian production, although was looking to be historical one before the harvest, couldn't be as much, but still quite sufficient to serve the domestic needs, as also the brisk demand from US, Europe, and Asian countries. This year, we have seen almost, as per our estimates, 104 lakh tons of soybean produced as per SOPA estimates. And this would give about 93.5 lakh tons available for crushing after appropriating the stocks for both sowing needs and also retained for other direct consumption. So the residual meal, I think, should suffice after taking care of about 18 lakh tons of exports, because 16 lakh we have already done in the first 6 months. but the remainder 6 months, the exports would be very scanty. And in my opinion, that would not be more than 2 to 3 lakh tons. The reason being, there's the demand is less or more met as far as our export contracts are done, have been executed. Now, as I mentioned, 27 lakh tons was estimated for the consumption the first 6 months. The next 6 months, we have estimated the consumption from the feed industry to be 23 lakh tons. And the residual soybean crop, as per the SOPA's estimate at the end of March, stands about 36.64 lakh tons or 3.64 million tons, which on a rough basis gives you about 3 million tons of soybean meal or 30 lakh tons. So in my opinion, whether we take our requirement for the domestic feed industry or also for the export some 3 lakh tons, that should be quite sufficient in our opinion.
So thank you, Dr. Jain. I think you have made really a very nice statistics presented to the team. The only challenge what we see that is, in spite of all these sufficient availability, we are not sure that why the prices are going to go up. I'll request to get some questions from the consumer industry, and if you listen them, and then if you can just answer maybe the second round those questions. So if I request Mr. Soundarajan, being a part of the largest consumer of the country, you can give and just explain that whole with this current price and high price of soya meal, that will help us, and that may get some input to Dr. Jain also to answer those specific questions. So, Mr. Soundarajan, can you just please explain this?
Are you talking about this is because of the soybean meal, how it's impacted?
Because of
Yes,
Is it right?
yes, yeah.
Right. Normally, we used to the Indian industry poultry. Not only it's not. I'm not talking about on behalf of Suguna. I'm talking about on behalf of the industry now. Overall, in India, my estimate broiler feed production is around 14.5 million tons. Breeder feed accounts for about 3.3 million tons. Layer feed is at 10.22 million tons. Poultry alone, as per my tons, will be the total consumption of soybean meal. So looks other. I'm talking about without aqua and dairy feed requirements. Poultry alone, I'm talking about 56 lakh tons. It's based on the price. It may go up by another 10%, or it may come down by another 10%. If the prices are higher, it may be at going out. The people will go for alternate meals. Around 50 lakh tons will be the consumed. If it is prices are lower, it may go up to 60 lakh tons also. This is about soybean meal consumption. Currently, about 4.5 lakh tons is a meal is required in the country. Now, the overall we are paying around 20 to 25,000 rupees extra than the normal market prices. So you had to calculate in about 4.5 lakh tons into about assume around 25,000 rupees is based on the current price is that's the premium it's paid by the poultry feed companies. That will impact the poultry profit and loss of everyone whomever they are the poultry producers. That's the value of impacts.
You are very correct in your assessment. 56 lakh tons, what you said is the requirement for the poultry feed industry particularly.
Yes.
So you say plus minus 10% based on the economics, particularly the prices.
Yes.
Since these prices are now shot up really, I'm expecting this some downtrend as far as the consumption in terms of substitution would be there, some with some other protein meals, as you very rightly mentioned, and also inclusion ratios I think maybe lower. I do not know about the placements, whether they are exactly as per your past trends, or this year the placement of poultry chicks has also actually gone down a bit. Since the last year, it was very badly hit by the epidemic, and there was loss of the value of the poultry products. So obviously there must have been some reduction in the placement. So consequently, some consumption I might have been lower. We have estimated 50 lakh tons of total feed demand, which includes in our case aqua demand as well. So probably yes, it may be 2-3 lakh tons more as per your, I think, estimates. But now coming to what is available, I think, as I've mentioned, we would expect about 30 lakh tons of production to be available from the residual crop. Now, you would say that why then there's so much of price rise? Price rises, I think I made this thing a statement that in the international funds, those who invest in commodity markets and in stock markets and everywhere, a lot of stimulus funds have actually been one of the major reason of chasing these agriculture commodities. And it is soybean is not only the solitary case, but in this way, a lot of other agriculture commodities have seen the similar kind of spurt or soaring of prices in the recent times. And this calls for, I would say, more a self-restraint also from the part of the end user industry, also for the processing industry, that since kind of an artificial shortage has been, created, which in our view doesn't, it should not be there, because by all estimates which we have made, there is a crop which is about 3.64 million tons still available. Let us assume, for the argument's sake, that these estimates are not, I would say, realistic, or it may go down. In our view, we always put a rider of 5% more or less in the estimates, because it's an estimation process. Even let's say we strike off 10% of the total crop size, which I mean some of the trading companies, and they may not agree to those numbers. So even this, we reduce it by 10% of the total crop. In our view, that it will still suffice the needs of the domestic feed industry very well up to September 2021. And this 23 lakh tons, what we have estimated, should be still available. Because
I'm
as I
differing your view, Mr. Davis
cost
Jain.
would be very small now from here on.
How I'm calculating, I'm having a huge gap, what I'm able to find out. Let me tell about the total balance sheet of the uh, soybean seed availability. Opening stock, 5 lakh tons is the opening stock before the crushing season starts.
We had estimated about 5 lakh tons was the opening stock. I can share a slide.
Yeah, for me also the same 5 lakh tons.
Okay.
Production side, earlier estimated 105 lakh tons, 10.5 million tons. But
yeah.
currently there is estimates is coming as a 95 lakh tons.
Okay, let's put it 95 for
Right. Then
the
imports is around 2 lakh tons is the imports.
Okay.
Overall 1 or 2 lakh tons is total available for crushing.
Yes.
For a resowing, it needs 12 to 13 lakh tons is the requirement for a resowing.
1.3, okay.
Then 94 lakh tons is the total available for a crushing.
Yes, sir. We have also estimated the same 93.5.
Right. So 94, if we are crushing, the soya meal availability is equivalent to 74 lakh tons, 73 lakh tons.
73.
Out of the 73 lakh tons of the soybean meal, which overall it's available, total whole season I'm talking about. Out of that, exports around 20 lakh tons is exports.
We are estimating 18, maybe 19 or so, I think, because now these prices, I don't think we will find much of outlets really available for it. Yeah.
Right. My estimate is 20 lakh tons.
Okay.
Then the human consumption is around 4 lakh tons.
Okay.
Poultry feed alone 56 lakh tons. Another 2 lakh tons is for aqua feed.
Okay.
If you are tallying that one, overall the shortage will be around 9 to 10 lakh tons of the soybean meal is a total shortage.
Sir, my gut feel says that probably with these prices, high prices, the inclusion ratios have already dropped and dropped significantly. And on a 94 lakh tons crush, sir, normally we should get about 77 lakh tons, but let us put it even 1 lakh ton less, 76 lakh tons. So 76 lakh tons instead of 73, what you estimated.
Right.
With 18 lakh, in our opinion, is the export going to take place because
Right.
even now the that non-GM or organic meal is no new contracts are taking place. So all this put together, I think available to us would be about 68 lakh tons. No, sorry, 58.
Right.
And 58, I think, should suffice the domestic needs in our view, because the inclusion ratios have come down. Now, what used to be about 22% for broiler feed, we were estimating, and about 15% for the layer feed. Probably what the kind of feedback we are getting it from the poultry sector, that the inclusions are
Dr. Jain,
15% now.
so Dr. Jain, let us do one thing. I think Mr. Sundararajan has given some statistics where he's saying 9 lakh ton gap is there, and let us listen from the poultry consumer experts only that what they are doing. They
Now,
have
apart from
really
that, one more thing
they have
also.
reduced, or they are changed, or they are looking for alternates. I think they are the best people who can tell that. So till then, I think you can just work it out what gap and other things are there, and we'll come back to you again, get all those details. और उसके बीच में एक बार बहादुर क्या है यहाँ पे, तो बहादुर क्या से जरा हमको ये जानना है कि भैया आप दो तीन चीजें हैं। पहली चीज तो ये है कि अभी आज के रेट में जो सोया का प्राइस है 70 रुपए, आपको लगता नहीं है कि पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री ने काफी लेट किया रिएक्ट करने में इसको, और ये इस लेवल तक हमने वेट किया कि यहाँ तक मतलब चीजें पहुंची, हम साइलेंट थे, हमने अभी तक आवाज नहीं उठाई, और आज ये नौबत आई। दूसरी चीज ये कि आपने काफी प्रयास किए हैं, आपने ऑल इंडिया एसोसिएशन की तरफ से रिसेंटली आपका एक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को काफी अच्छा मतलब रिक्वेस्ट भी किया है, जिसमें आपने 2-3 सजेशन भी किए हैं। क्लापमा ने भी उसको सपोर्ट किया बाद में, और हमने भी आपके मार्गदर्शन पे हमने भी एक लेटर लिखा और उसको फॉलो अप किया। तो आपकी क्या राय है, आपका क्या कहना है, क्या होना चाहिए और क्यों हम तक पहुंचे हैं?
नहीं, ये बात
भैया
हाँ बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हैं। ये बात सही कि पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री ने बहुत लेट डिमांड किया, और शायद पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री को ये समझने का मौका ही नहीं मिला कि ये प्राइस इस लेवल में इतने जल्दी बढ़ जाएगी। 1 महीने के अंदर ये प्राइस सब इतनी हायर लेवल में हो गए, फिर मीटिंग हुई, फिर कोरोना के इफेक्ट कारण हम लोगों ने उतनी जल्दी सरकार से डिमांड नहीं कर पाए, और आज हमने सरकार से 12 लाख टन की डिमांड किया, और कोरोना के कारण अभी शायद हो सकता है हमारी आवेदन पे डिस्कशन उस लेवल में नहीं हुआ है कि कोई काम आगे हो सके। लेकिन आज सरकार की तरफ से आश्वासन मिला है कि हम जरूर इस पर गंभीरता पूर्वक विचार करेंगे। लेकिन सबसे मुझे बड़ा अफसोस हो रहा है कि यहाँ श्रीम इंडस्ट्री बैठे, पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री बैठे हैं, सब लोग बैठे हैं, इतनी प्राइस बढ़ने के बाद भी सब एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके क्या क्लापमा ही बैठी हुई, सरकार के पास जाने के लिए कोई तैयार नहीं होता। इसलिए हमारी इस सोया कंजम्पशन इंडस्ट्री का सबसे बड़ा माइनस पॉइंट है कि आज मुझे भी इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाने के लिए सबको 10 दिन रिक्वेस्ट करना पड़ा, तब जाके ये लेटर तैयार होके आगे गया। तो मैं सोचता हूँ ये सिर्फ पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री की जरूरत नहीं, श्रीम इंडस्ट्री, एक्वा, क्लापमा और 10 जितने एसोसिएशन है, ये सबको मिलकर इसमें काम करना चाहिए। और सरकार के पास कुछ चालू हुए हैं, कुछ हुआ है, लेकिन फिर भी आज हम जिस लेवल में बैठे हैं, जैसे सौंदरराजन जी बोल रहे हैं कि हमारे पास 9 लाख टन हमारे पास शॉर्टेज है, मैं इस बात को बिल्कुल एग्री नहीं करता हूं कि हमारे पास पोल्ट्री मिल का इतना कंजम्पशन है। उनके पास या तो जानकारी कुछ समझने में कोई फर्क हुआ है, मेरे हिसाब से उसमें मेरे डाटा में कम से कम 25-30% का फर्क है। खैर ये तो अपना डिस्कशन का मटेरियल है कि इतना है कि नहीं, क्योंकि जैसी सोया की प्राइस बढ़ती है, हमारे पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री चाहे फीड प्लांट हो, अदर प्रोटीन सोर्स का यूज करना चालू कर देते हैं, और काफियों ने किया और काफी ने घटाया, ऐसे ऐसे प्रोटीन का यूज किए हैं कि जिसके कारण हमारी सोया की कंजम्पशन डे टू डे कम हो रही है। खुद हमारे ग्रुप में 25% आईवी ग्रुप में हमारी सोया की कंजम्पशन कम हुई। तो मैं मानता हूँ कि हर इंडस्ट्री में सोया कंजम्पशन कम हो रही है, और हमारे पास जो हमने पोल्ट्री एसोसिएशन ने ये आपके इस डाटा के बेस पे निकाला, तो हमारे हिसाब से इस साल हमारे पास सरप्लस मिल है। सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम ये है कि एनसीडेक्स में जो ये रोज तेजी हो रही है, कुछ देखो हर बिजनेस में तेजाड़ी भी रहते हैं, मंदी भी रहते हैं। ये कैलकुलेशन जो हुआ इसके बेस पे कुछ लोग इसमें गेम खेल रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि हमारे पास सोयाबीन की शॉर्टेज है, हैंड टू माउथ होंगे 10-15% हम प्लस में ही आज की तारीख में 25% भी प्लस में हो सकते हैं। लेकिन हमको जो सरकार के थ्रू सहयोग मिलना चाहिए, एनसीडेक्स पे कंट्रोल होना चाहिए। हम भी जानते हैं सरकार की अपनी कुछ मजबूरी है, डाटे पेश करना अलग बात है, लेकिन सरकार हमारे साथ तब होगी जब हम जाके बताएंगे। सरकार किसानों का भी साथ देना है और हमारा भी साथ देना है, उसको दोनों को बैलेंस करना है। हमारा प्रेजेंटेशन सरकार के पास प्रॉपर नहीं है। इसके लिए हमको काम करने की बहुत सख्त जरूरत है। इस प्लेटफॉर्म के हट के हम फिर सबसे बात करेंगे, इसमें जाके हमको बात करना चाहिए। जहां तक मैं समझता हूँ, सोयाबीन मिल की कोई शॉर्टेज नहीं है हमारे पास में। अदर प्रोटीन हमारे इंडिया में बहुत है। आज आप देखिए जीएनसी पूरे इंडिया के अंदर सरप्लस है, पिछले साल से 10 लाख टन ज्यादा हुआ है, रेपसीड ज्यादा हुआ है, डीडीजीएस ज्यादा हुआ है, हाइप्रो डीडीजीएस जीएस हुआ है। मेज ग्लूटिन के साथ सरप्लस प्रोडक्शन है, पूरा एक्सपोर्ट जा रहा था मेज ग्लूटिन, जो हमारे इंडिया का टोटल प्रोडक्शन है 40%, वो पूरे इंडिया में कंजम्पशन हो रहा है। आपकी फिश मिल की कैचिंग जो पहले बाहर होती थी, पूरी फिश मिल इंडिया में यूज हो रही है। सब जगह में पोल्ट्री फार्म फीड में इंडस्ट्री चालू हो गई है। इस तरीके से कॉटन डीओसी जो पहले हम लोग कैटल के लिए मानते थे, आज वो पोल्ट्री में खिलाई जा रही है, ताकि कॉटन जीएससी का उसका जो हार्मफुल पार्ट्स होता है जिसके कारण पोल्ट्री नहीं खाते, उसके सब बड़े बड़े प्लांट लग चुके हैं और हम लोग खुद यूज कर रहे हैं। हम क्या पूरे इंडिया की पोल्ट्री यूज कर रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि सोयाबीन पे इंडस्ट्री डिपेंड है, स्टेज में आ गई है, प्राइस के लिए है, अल्टरनेट सब प्रोटीन हमारे यूज हो रहे हैं। तो हम सोचते हैं कि 1-1.5-2 महीने के प्रॉब्लम, उसका ये मार्केट डाउन होना ही पड़ेगा। इसके पास कोई अल्टरनेट नहीं है, क्योंकि आज पिछले 45 दिन से या 50 दिन से आप देखिए रोज प्राइस बढ़ी 100 रुपये 50 रुपये। तो कौन व्यापारी या कौन किसान क्यों बेचेगा सोयाबीन सीड? शॉर्टेज नहीं है, रोज तेजी होना है। ये मैसेज दे रहा है कि ये कोई बोलता है 7,000 जाएगी, फिर सोशल मीडिया हमारे साथ चल रहा है 8,000 होने वाला है, 7,000 होने वाला है। ये सब ऐसे छोटे छोटे चीज इसको हम लोग फेस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। जैसे हमारा कोरोना हुआ था, कोरोना में हमारी पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री बैठ गई थी। ऐसा थोड़ी कि कोरोना से मुर्गी खाने से कोरोना होता था, सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया ने कर दिया था। कोरोना का मुर्गी खाने से कोरोना होता है, हमारी पूरी इंडस्ट्री बैठ गई थी। वैसे आज सोशल मीडिया बोल रहा है कि सोयाबीन है नहीं, आप जितना आप प्राइस बढ़ा सकते हो बढ़ा लो, मत बेचो 1 महीना, देखो पोल्ट्री फार्म में लेगा 80 रुपये में। इसके बीच में जिसका भी गेम होगा वो खेल रहे हैं और ये ऐसी हाल है। और आज अल्टरनेट प्रोटीन पे बहुत स्पीड से काम हो रहा है। फिर एक एंजाइम भी आता है जो प्रोटीन को रिप्लेस, प्रोटीन के अंदर जो प्रोटीन अनडाइजेस्ट मुर्गी के पेट से निकल जाता है, उसको 1% प्रोटीन के लिए एंजाइम यूज करना चालू हो गया। एंजाइम इंडस्ट्री में बूम है आज की तारीख में। आपको एंजाइम देने जाएंगे, प्रोटीन डाइजेशन का तो मिल नहीं रहा, शॉर्टेज है। तो कहने मतलब ये कि पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री को तकलीफ जरूर है, लेकिन अल्टरनेट पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री पूरा कर रही है। और हमको ये इस समय से निकलना है जो 1-2 महीना कर रही है। और हमको गवर्नमेंट से भी सपोर्ट चाहिए और हमारी पूरी इंडस्ट्री मिलकर काम, हम बिल्कुल अपने सही तरीके से आके निकल जाएंगे। ठीक है, हमारा करोड़ों रुपए का लॉस हुआ है, हम इसको डिनाई भी करते हैं। कंपनी ऑलरेडी पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री फीड इंडस्ट्री स्पेस में है, उससे तकलीफ नहीं है। उसको चलो जैसा समय होता है उसको देख के निकलेंगे और सब मिलकर इसको हम आगे बढ़ा के निकल जाएंगे, कोई तकलीफ नहीं होनी चाहिए। और हमारे पास सोयाबीन सरप्लस है, सरप्लस एंड सरप्लस।
Neeraj ji, can I add something?
Hello.
Neeraj ji, Dr. Mehta here, can I add something?
Dr. Saab, yes, we'll come back to you. So we are
particular what Bahadur Ali Sahab, I want to add
please.
something what Bahadur Ali Sahab said.
Please.
Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Mehta.
See, look at the supply side is a comfortable. In fact, if you look at the government number, government has 13.7 million ton production. 13.7 million ton production. When you go back to the government, they say, all right, there is enough production. Why are you coming to us? So matter is not that there is a short supply. It's a better regulate that supply. Today, because of some reasons, what Bahadur says, the seed is not being sold in the market. Seeds are already lying. So that's the reason. And if you look at the SOPA number 104.5 and government of 137, the truth lies in between somewhere. I am not believing that a crop is a 90 or 95. I think this is all created by some speculators to jack up the market. Then look at here. Today, the soybean oil has gone up by 6%. When the meal or seed has gone up by 26%, meal has gone by 38% in 1 month. So definitely, crop is not short. And when you go to the government also, how will you respond to that? That government will say, as per us, the crop number is 13.7. That's all I want to add it here. Thank you.
No, thank you, Dr. Mehta. और
नीरज, मैं एक बात और बोलना चाहूंगा कि आज की तारीख में गर्मी के कारण हमारी पोल्ट्री में फीड कंजम्पशन 20 से 25% कम होती है। पहला रीजन, राइट। दूसरी बात, पिछले कोरोना के कारण हमारी सर पोल्ट्री की पॉपुलेशन 20% कम है। पोल्ट्री की पॉपुलेशन 20% हमारी कम है, तभी हमारी ब्रॉयलर की इंडस्ट्री सर्वाइव कर रही है पिछले 4-5 महीने से। और आज गर्मी के कारण आने वाले 3 महीना, अप्रैल मई जून में हमारी 25% फीड कंजम्पशन कम होगी। मेज, सोया सब हमें कम लगने वाली है। और सामने हमारे पास पूरी डीडीएस की क्रॉप है, हमारे पास सनफ्लावर तो कहीं इंपोर्ट होता है, अदर प्रोटीन्स और मेज प्रोटीन जो हमारे 50% इंडिया का एक्सपोर्ट होता था वो इंडिया में मिल रहा है हमको।
मिल रहा है।
फिश मिल हमको जितनी चाहिए उतनी मिल रही। जो अभी स्लिम इंडस्ट्री में सड़क लॉकडाउन है, स्लिम में इतनी शॉर्टेज डिमांड नहीं है, तो उसका भी बेनिफिट पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री को मिल रहा है। हम तो बिल्कुल समय को गुजारने की इंतजार कर रहे हैं। बाकी सोयाबीन सरफरा से जिस दिन मंदी आएगी उस दिन बाजार संभलेगा नहीं, मेरा ऐसा सोचना है।
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा फीडबैक आपने दिया भैया। आई थिंक ये आपके हिसाब से सोया मिल और सोया सीड दोनों में कोई शॉर्टेज नहीं है इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन एंड अवेलेबिलिटी, लेकिन और अगर डिमांड भी कम हो रही है उसके बाद भी प्राइजेस बढ़ रहे हैं, तो इसका रीजन कुछ और है, और हम उसको जानना चाहेंगे। विल ट्राई टू फाइंड द आंसर ऑफ दैट फ्रॉम द एक्सपर्ट्स हियर. Before I go ahead, I would request Dr. B.M. Rao also to give some perspective on the aqua uses, that how aqua industry is suffering and how aqua industry's feedback are there on this current price situation of soybean meal. So, Dr. B.M. Rao. So, Dr. Rao, you can hear us? Dr. BMR?
He is not reachable, it seems.
No, he's there.
Yeah, its audio is not there.
Okay.
Somebody is given instead of 2 lakh tons is estimated for aquaculture feed, but really 9 lakh tons is the total, 7 or 9 lakh tons, which is right.
So we can.
I am Krishnaya, advisor to the SFMA. I have sent that message. And recently there was a meeting of SFMA organizers, and then it was estimated that the requirement of soya meal for aquaculture, including the fish meal, is about 9 lakh tons.
Okay.
It includes fish meal as well as shrimp feed meals.
Okay. So Dr. Krishnaya, if you can just give some feedback on aqua uses and how the situation of aqua.
I think Dr. Mastanda somehow is not on the screen, he is not able to communicate.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm requesting you to give some highlights.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. As you are aware, the sudden surge of prices of soya meal has badly hit the aqua industry because it directly escalates the cost of aqua feed. And one of the reasons is that soya meal constitutes 50% protein. Soya meal constitutes about 60% of the volume of aqua feed. And in aquaculture, particularly in the shrimp culture, the feed cost alone is about 60 to 75% ranges, depending upon the species cultured. So that means 75% of the cost of cultivation of shrimp is on account of the feed only. And within that feed, 60% of volume is by way of soya meal. So there is a direct impact of the increase in the prices as well as shortage of soya meal. It is hitting aqua industry very badly. So therefore, Aqua Feed Manufacturers Association have recently submitted a memorandum to the Honorable Prime Minister, along with copies marked to the Ministry for Commerce and other related departments, including Marine Products Export Development Authority, to intervene. They feel that the shortage is on account of hoarding that is happening in basically 2 states of India. One of their prime requests is to see that hoarding is prevented by the state's intervention. And second request was to permit import of soya meal from foreign countries up to an extent of 9 lakh tons. In a gist, these are the 2 requests that have been made by SFMA in order to tide over the situation. And in fact, it is going to cause real crisis in terms of shrimp culture. As you are aware, it provides both fish and shrimp culture, provides about 20 lakh employment in the rural areas, both farm sector as well as non-farm sector. Non-farm farmers are about 15 lakh farmers are there. So to that extent, the soya meal surge in prices as well as shortages are directly hitting the shrimp industry as well as fish industry. Therefore, there is a need for immediate intervention by the organizers as well as by the government. This is in a nutshell that I want to submit on behalf of SFMA.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Krishna. I think for the benefit of the audience here, I'll just introduce Dr. Krishna. So Dr. Krishna is an officer from Indian Administrative Services with over 39 years of experience in public administration. He is retired in the rank of Additional Secretary of the Government of India. Dr. Krishna is a PhD in economics and worked as Executive Chairman of AP Industrial Infrastructure Corporation, a Cabinet Minister rank, and CEO of National Fisheries Development Board, Government of India. So thank you, Dr. Krishna, for your very valuable information and input from the aqua sector. Now I have got question from.
Now, Nastendrav is available. BMR is available on the screen. Maybe you can invite him for his views also.
Yes. So, Dr. Rao, please. You are mute. We can't listen you.
Please unmute BM Rao.
Can you?
सुबोध उनको अनम्यूट कर दीजिए.
Subodh, can you unmute?
बिड़ा मस्तंद्राव.
सर उन्होंने ऑडियो ज्वाइन नहीं किया है.
अच्छा.
Okay.
Yeah.
अच्छा, उन्होंने ऑडियो ज्वाइन नहीं किया हुआ है. ओके, तो उनको फोन करके उनसे बात कर लीजिए.
यस सर, यस.
नीरज, आप नेक्स्ट पैनलिस्ट पे जा सकते हैं.
Okay. So, Dr. Rao, we can't hear you because you have not joined the audio. So we request you to again join back the audio. Then we can again let you in and we can hear you. So in between, my question is to Dr. Mehta. As you heard, Dr. Mehta, that even Bahadur Bhaiya also told that people have started looking for some alternate of the soya, and there are some alternates available, and those productions of those meals are also much higher this financial year. So as the soya meal prices has gone up, can you give the update of availability of other oil meals in the country? How much Rice Bran, because we all know that you are a person who have done a promoter of Rice Bran and the Rice Bran oil country. So how much is the Rice Bran exported, and do we have enough material for our consumers in the country? So we would like to listen all these details, Dr. Mehta, from you to get some enrichment to our audience here today. You can.
See, this year we are fortunate. We had a bumper groundnut crop. We had a bumper soybean crop of about 10 million plus, and also the rapeseed we are expecting about 855 to 9 million ton, and cotton also we have good crop. So overall availability of oil cake is much higher compared to the previous year. Second, about the rice bran. Rice bran, normally the production of rice bran is about 8.5 to 9 million ton, out of which about 5.5 million is being processed for rice bran oil. There's about 3 million ton rice bran is directly used by cattle or poultry feed. And out of the 5.5 million ton, we produce about 1 million ton of the rice bran oil, and about 4.5 million ton of the rice bran extraction. Out of 4.5 million ton, normally we are exporting about 2 to 3 lakh tons, mainly to Vietnam. This year, there was a failure of the crop in Bangladesh. So suddenly the demand, rice crop was failed in Bangladesh. So suddenly the demand came from the Bangladesh. And that's the reason this year the export was about 4 lakh plus for this year. But now Bangladesh will be harvesting the new crop shortly, so that the demand will reduce from the Bangladesh, or rather there won't be demand from the Bangladesh. So overall rice bran is a comfortable level. So out of 8.5, if you take out 1 million ton oil, so you have about 7 million ton rice bran or rice bran available in the domestic market, which is mainly consumed by the cattle feed industry. Now, second question you had about the availability of other extraction. Yes. Now look at the rapeseed. We export about 1 million tons of rapeseed meal, and this time rapeseed crop is about 9 million ton. Crushing is much higher thanks to soybean high price. We have never seen in the past that a mustard oil could be cheaper than the soybean oil. So now every month, about 10 to 12 lakh ton is being crushed mustard. So availability of mustard meal will be much higher during the next 4 to 6 months without any problem. Groundnut also, since there's a demand for groundnut oil in export, a lot of crushing is taking place, and also the cake is being processed for a, so that availability of meal is also higher. So now for a feed industry or a, you must look out for the alternate sources as a possible. I'm not saying you replace soybean 100% to the others, but yes, you can use larger quantity of other oil mills. And third, by that's a groundnut you can use, cottonseed meal you can use, rapeseed milk or rice bran can go in a cattle feed. So these are the way out. And let me tell you again, there is not a real shortage of the soybean meal. What has happened? Since the price of soybean has gone up suddenly, the industry find it difficult. There's some disturbances coming up. Mr. Nira, are you able to listen me clearly?
अभी ठीक है सर, अभी बोलिए.
अच्छा, नहीं, see, look at today with this price of soybean, the industry find it difficult to process, buy seed at this rate and process. They are losing out 4,000 to 5,000 rupee per ton of processing. So naturally, processing is low, so availability is low because of that. Since you find solvent industry is not finding parity in processing soybean. Now, why soybean price has gone up? As Bahadur Ali also said, because of the speculator entry in this market. They thought, or somebody said in the market to try to create an impression, the crop is not more than 9 million ton. So naturally, if you prepare your balance sheet based on the 9 million ton, definitely there is a shortage of soybean meal. And that was the reason how the market has moved. Now, if you look at here, soybean, the soybean meal price has gone up, but not oil. Oil hardly gone up by 6% over this time here. In last 1 month, when the meal has gone by 36%. So this was the reason. And I think what I personally feel, that to curb the speculation, the NCDX should take some measure to impose or regulate this volatility by imposing some margin or other measures here. This is what is necessary. Because people have a lot of money, even as Dr. Jain said, lot of money is available and they're putting the commodity. And they find the soybean is very lucrative. Now, where you get from 5,000 or 5,500 rupee to 7,000 rupee in a 1 month? No commodity can give this much appreciation. So people are putting more money in commodities. That is fact also. So overall, what I personally, and about the demand for the import of soybean meal, although I am from the solvent tax industry, will not be in a favor of import of soybean meal. But let me tell you, I am in my personal opinion, even government allow a 500,000 ton of soybean meal import during April to October. That's a great impact on the sentiments of those who are holding the soybean today. It will change the sentiments. Even you will surprise here. You may not import 100,000 or 200,000, but that will change the sentiment. If you try to keep the price up and up, then there is a possibility of import of soybean meal. So that will checkmate the local prices. So I think if these are some of the steps, and one last, you said okay, we must represent the government for allowing the import of oil seed or oil meal. Now, as per government data, production of soybean during the current year is 13.7 million ton. How will you justify? Government will go by their own number. They will not believe your number, 9 million or 10 million or 10.5 million. So how will you convince the government? They say, no, there's an ample soybean is available. So these are when we represent the government, also we must keep in mind what is the government number. We may or may not believe that number. Many times we don't believe the government number. Sometimes we feel the inflated number. But still, so by government is concerned, police is concerned, they go by that number and not by your or my number. So that's we have to keep in mind when we represent to the government. And last was demand. And also world production is not less. World production is not less. There's a demand for soybean oil. So crushing is much higher. So meal is availability in the world is much higher. So personally, I feel that this shortage is a temporary shortage because the industry is not processing the soybean because of the disparity. If the industry start using, or the industry should not get panic and buy what is available at what is the price. Slow down your buying. Try to use other alternate meals which is available to some extent. And as Mr. Bahadur really said, normally the summer season, the consumption goes down. So I think it's a matter of few months, 2 or 3, 4 months, I think price will come down. That's what I want to submit in the beginning now. Thank you, Neeraj. Unmute.
Yeah. So I said very well said and very practical suggestion what you gave. Open for import, even a 500,000 ton. Not
Half a
to go
million
for
ton.
panic,
Half a
half a million ton.
Huh?
Not to go for panic buying actually, and look for some alternate. I think these are the things. We'll come back to you to know a little more about impact trading on the NCDEX and how we can actually control and see that can really help and stop these speculations. Before that, I think Dr. Mastan Rao is available now, so we can just listen to him and his views on the aqua perspective. So, Dr. Rao, over to you, please. You can unmute yourself and speak, Dr. Rao.
Good evening to all of you, sir.
Unmute yourself, Dr. Rao.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Inviting us
Now we can
for the panel.
hear you, please.
Chief advisor to our association has explained to you already in detail, but still I want to add something to his suggestions also. As you are aware, aquaculture, particularly shrimp economy, is very sensitive to the price variations. Since about 70 to 75% of the cost of cultivation, that means aquaculture cultivation, is only feed cost. So any steep fluctuations in the feed cost make the culture totally unviable. As an organized sector, we managed to survive with very bare minimum margins. So, and moreover, aquaculture is a major livestock production sector which employs nearly 20 lakh farmers and farm workers, and another 25 lakhs from non-farm workers in different segments supporting the aquaculture industry. So most of the fish and shrimp farming is in the hands of small and medium-sized farmers who depend mainly on this activity for their livelihoods. So here today, the season just started. What I want to tell you, just the season started. That aqua industry season after winter season starts. That means after January, shrimp seed or fish seed stocking in the growing ponds will start from the month of February. This year, no, in the beginning of the stocking itself, the price of the feed has gone up like anything. Because of that, even shrimp and fish farmers, they're not aggressive in stocking their ponds. So we don't know really what is happening, because all these days we didn't have shrimp and fish feed millers association. Recently, we formed the association. I am elected as a farmer, president of the association. Just thank you very much for taking our opinion also. So here, first of all, we don't know where the prices are going to be. And in our opinion, at least like Dr. Mehta rightly mentioned, we have to request the government of India to import certain quantity of DOC. No, maybe genetically modified soya bean is not allowed, seeds, but DOC can be allowed. That is, the DOC is the main ingredient, at least 50% for shrimp and 20% for the fish meal, feed production. So, and our total requirement is around 0.9 million of high 50% or 46% fish meal, the soya meal. So far, our consumption during February and March, it was only hardly not even 1 lakh metric tons. Why? Because just the season started, feed production season. So another 8 lakh we need before rain starts. That means before September. That means coming 6 months, we need minimum of 8 lakh metric tons. Now already last year it was the same time, it was 37,000 ex-factory. Now it is the 69th today. Someone quoted 69,000 rupees ex-factory, 50% protein soya meal. So since the inclusion in the composition of the feed manufacturing, it is a 50% minimum, 50% protein. So, and really it is not viable already because of the ocean freight has gone up, and for even the transportation price locally, it has gone up, and the electricity price, tariff also has gone up. Really, it is unviable to the farming as well as industry sector. So kindly, so I am requesting you, we together go and present our case to the concerned people, mainly to the Prime Minister of India. And already we represented to our Honorable AP Chief Minister and concerned AP government ministers. They are also very sympathetic. But, and moreover, the thing is 60% of total shrimp and fish production comes out of Andhra Pradesh. So, out of $6 billion US business, 60% from Andhra Pradesh. So really, our government of Andhra Pradesh also is worried. They are also going to meet our Honorable Prime Minister and concerned fisheries and other ministries at the center. So now, as Mr. Dr. Mehta rightly mentioned, hoarding is to be prevented first. That is really, otherwise, why all of this sudden, prices have gone up by 70-80%. So something is happening. No, we all know. So this is the problem the shrimp and fish industry facing, particularly in Andhra Pradesh, because soya is entirely coming from two states, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. So we can't have any control over the whatever. So thank you for inviting us, particularly
thank
to
you, Dr. Rao.
Srinivasan, CLEPMA chairman. So thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
No, thank you so much for your overview on the EQUA and your efforts meeting Chief Minister and telling him about the concerns. And we are representing the Central Ministry also, and we'll have that how fast we can all put together our all efforts, make sure that policymakers would understand that, okay, and give some favorable solutions. So now with this, we have time to listen one of the nutritionists who is there in the panel, who is going to give us that how is the soya meal impact on the other animal feed production and importance of using soya meal in the livestock feeding, what are alternates and their limitations using in the feed in a very short, so that we can come back again on the point, because most of the audience, they are asking that when the prices of soya is going to go down and what are the measures we can take, because everybody is really panic on that and looking into current situation. So after listening to Dr. Dinesh, we'll get back to again to Dr. Jain and Dr. Virvi Mehta to just guide us and know that how we can stop these factors, because one biggest challenge is that, as I said, soya meal and soya oil, these two are the benchmark other oil meals also. So if you see today, rapeseed meal, mustard, guar, any alternative of soya, few of these, the prices has also started. So we must arrest that for the benefit of the livestock industry. Dr. Dinesh, you can give some of your overview on this whole discussion. We can listen to you.
Thank you, Neeraj. First of all, let me thank CLEPMA of India for organizing this webinar. It was needed, and thanks for inviting all organizations like SOFA, Solvent Extractor Association, All India Poultry Breeder Association, Shrimp Farmer Association. मित्रों, फार्मर जिंदा रहेगा तो हम लोग जिंदा रहेंगे. ये बात हमको सबको समझ में आनी चाहिए. और हमारा जो पोल्ट्री का किसान है, हमारा जो फिश पालने वाला किसान है, श्रिम्प पालने वाला किसान है, गाय भैंस पालने वाला किसान है, उसका 70% खर्चा जो है एवरी डे ये फीड के ऊपर होता है। और अगर हम ब्रॉयलर की बात करेंगे तो प्री स्टार्टर में 35% सोयाबीन मिल इंक्लूजन होता है, स्टार्टर फीड में 30% सोयाबीन मिल का इंक्लूजन होता है, फिनिशर फीड में 25% सोयाबीन मिल का इंक्लूजन होता है। तो हमारा जो एक ब्रॉयलर रेडी होता है वो 3500 ग्राम फीड खाता है और 3500 ग्राम में 1 किलो सोयाबीन मिल होता है, ये ध्यान रखिए। तो और सोयाबीन मिल के अलावा हमारे जो ब्रॉयलर फीड में रेगुलरली जो यूज होता है वो मीट एंड बोन मिल यूज होता है, सिंथेटिक अमीनो एसिड्स है, लाइसिन, मिथायोनिन, ट्रिप्टोफैन, ये सारे उसमें ऐड किए जाते हैं। क्योंकि हम सबको पता है कि सोयाबीन मिल की अमीनो एसिड की डाइजेस्टिबिलिटी जो है वो सबसे बेस्ट है। इसमें मिथायोनिन की कमी है, लेकिन इसमें बाकी सारे अमीनो एसिड जो है वो बहुत अच्छे क्वांटिटी में है। अभी काफी सारे फीड मैन्युफैक्चरर के पास NIR नाम की मशीन है, नियर इंफ्रारेड मशीन, जिसमें से सोयाबीन मिल और बाकी ऑयल मिल और जो रॉ मटेरियल हम लोग यूज करते हैं उसकी टेस्टिंग कुछ सेकंड्स में हो सकती है, 10 से 15 सेकंड में। और सबसे अच्छी बात क्या है कि सोयाबीन मिल में रिएक्टिव लाइसिन कितना है, ओवर प्रोसेसिंग हुआ है, अंडर प्रोसेसिंग हुआ है, उसकी भी इंफॉर्मेशन हमको मिलना बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि पोल्ट्री फीड में अगर ओवर प्रोसेसिंग होगी तो वो सोयाबीन मिल यूज नहीं हो पाएगा, क्योंकि उसमें अमीनो एसिड डाइजेस्टिबिलिटी कम होगी, उसमें लाइसिन मैलेट रिएक्शन होने के बाद अफेक्ट हो जाएगा। लेकिन कैटल फीड के लिए ये ओवर प्रोसेस सोयाबीन मिल बहुत बढ़िया है, क्योंकि इसमें बाईपास प्रोटीन वैल्यू बहुत बढ़िया है। तो मित्रों ये जान लो कि अभी जो सोयाबीन मिल का उपयोग है, जैसे भैया ने कहा कि ब्रॉयलर फीड में ये बहुत कम होना शुरू हो गया है क्योंकि सोयाबीन मिल के प्राइसेस बढ़ गए हैं। तो सारे पोल्ट्री इंटीग्रेटर्स जो है वो बाकी अल्टरनेटिव सोर्सेस को देखने लगे, फिर वो फिश मिल है, मीट एंड बोन मिल है, मस्टर्ड है, लो गॉसिपॉल कंटेनिंग कॉटन सीड मिल है। क्योंकि बेसिकली सारे ऑयल मिल में एंटी न्यूट्रिशनल फैक्टर होते हैं। जैसे ग्राउंडनट मिल की अगर हम बात करेंगे तो इसमें अफ्लाटॉक्सिन होता है, इसमें अमीनो एसिड डाइजेस्टिबिलिटी भी कम होती है। मस्टर्ड में ग्लूकोसिनोलिक एसिड होते हैं, टैनिन्स होता है। तो ये सब चीजें डिस्ट्रॉय होना बहुत जरूरी है। तो इसीलिए ब्रॉयलर में क्या होता है कि आप 5 to 10% बाकी ऑयल मिल डाल सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको सोयाबीन मिल अगर मिल सकता है तो सबसे बेस्ट है। लेकिन जैसे हम सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि यूजर इंडस्ट्री ने आने वाले 10-15 दिन अगर अल्टरनेटिव यूज करेंगे, थोड़ा सोयाबीन मिल का पैनिक बाइंग बंद करेंगे, उसका गवर्नमेंट अगर इंडिकेशन दे देगा कि आप थोड़ा बहुत सोयाबीन मिल साउथ इंडिया में इंपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। देखिए इंपोर्ट और एक्सपोर्ट ये दोनों ओपन होना चाहिए। शरद जोशी जो फार्मर लीडर थे शेतकरी संगठन के, वो हमेशा कहते थे ही ऑलवेज सपोर्टेड WHO, ही ऑलवेज सपोर्टेड ओपन मार्केट। साउथ इंडिया में सोयाबीन मिल अगर इंपोर्ट होके आएगा तो चीपर पड़ेगा एज कंपेयर टू अदर एरियाज। तो इसलिए साउथ इंडिया को लीन पीरियड में कम से कम 1 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन सोयाबीन मिल इंपोर्ट करने की परमिशन होनी चाहिए। और GM सीड नहीं आना चाहिए, लेकिन GM सोयाबीन DOC तो आराम से आ सकता है। तो ये सब चीजें बहुत जरूरी है। अगर हम लेयर फीड की बात करेंगे तो थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड डाइट होता है, चिक मैश होता है, ग्रोअर मैश होता है, लेयर मैश 1, 2, 3, 4 होता है। इसमें सोयाबीन मिल का इंक्लूजन लेवल जो है वो 5 to 10% होता है। और इसका मतलब ये है कि पूरे लाइफ साइकिल में लेयर बर्ड 48 kg फीड खाता है, तो उसमें से 5 kg वो सोयाबीन DOC खाता है। लेकिन अभी सोयाबीन DOC के प्राइसेस इतने बढ़े हुए हैं कि हार्डली 2, 3, 5% सोयाबीन DOC जो है वो सिर्फ चिक मैश में डाला जा रहा है। ग्रोअर मैश में और लेयर मैश में सोयाबीन मिल जो है वो कंप्लीटली बंद हो चुका है। अगर हम कैटल फीड की बात करेंगे तो 100 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन की रिक्वायरमेंट है, लेकिन 12 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन कैटल फीड हमारी इंडस्ट्री बनाती है और बाकी 88 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन रॉ मटेरियल डायरेक्टली एनिमल को खिलाया जाता है। और 12 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन में सोयाबीन DOC का उपयोग जो है वो बहुत कम है। कार्ब स्टार्टर, मिल्क रिप्लेसर, ट्रांजिशन फीड, ये जो हाई कॉस्ट हाई वैल्यू कैटल फीड है, इसमें सोयाबीन DOC का उपयोग होता है। सोयाबीन डीओसी में सबसे अच्छी बात क्या है, इसकी बाईपास प्रोटीन जो है वो वैल्यू बहुत अच्छा है। अभी बीएम राव सर ने जैसे बोला कि श्रिम्प फीड में और फिश फीड में डीफैटेड सोया फ्लोर या डीहल्ड सोयाबीन मिल की बहुत आवश्यकता है। आई विल रिक्वेस्ट ऑल सोपा मेंबर टू मेक डीहल्ड सोयाबीन मिल and sell it to our poultry feed industry and our shrimp feed industry. Soya hulls can be used in cattle feed. मैंने अपनी पीएचडी सोयाबीन पे की हुई है। मेरे करियर के पहले 9 साल मैंने अमेरिकन सोयाबीन एसोसिएशन में काम किया हुआ है। तो सोयाबीन का उपयोग इस इंडस्ट्री में मैंने बढ़ते हुए देखा है। अभी वो गिरते हुए जब मैं देखता हूं मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता, और इसीलिए फॉरवर्ड ट्रेडिंग एनसीडीएक्स में एक्चुअल यूजर ने आना चाहिए। यहाँ स्पेकुलेटर्स की एंट्री बंद करनी चाहिए, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। हमारे फीड इंडस्ट्री को
डॉक्टर दिनेश आपने बहुत अच्छी बात कही, और यही नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है अभी दैट, और ये क्वेश्चन अभी जाता है डॉक्टर मेहता एंड डॉक्टर दरवेश जैन के साथ में कि लोगों का सब मानना है कि prices which is going to at least going up at this moment, one of the major reason is trading of soya meal and soya seeds in the commodity NCDEX. How we can control on this, and what are the way forward to mitigate this? So Dr. Mehta and Dr. Jain, you both can give some highlight on this. I know this may be a little contrary subject for you, but actually, if this is one of the key reason for this current situation, we need to find some solution out of that. Looking into the larger picture and the benefit of the livestock industry, not to think as a shorter term gain for some particular people, but overall as a whole industry, we need to think and we have to find some solution for that. So Dr. Mehta, what is your thoughts on that? And then we can listen Dr. Dharmesh Jain also on this part.
Sorry. NCDEX should regulate the trading part, future trading part, and particularly if there is necessary, they must put the margin, sufficient margin, so that volatility get reduced, and that's possible. The measure they have to take the measures. Yeah, so when you can't see such a volatility as any other commodity, so I think NCDEX should immediately take some measure to regulate the market and cool down the market. That's the first and foremost. That's the one. And as I said about the import, we may not import, but an announcement by the government for import will change the sentiment. And third, my request to our friends of feed industry, don't get panic. There's enough availability. You are getting panic, you are buying at any cost, so the market is going up. Slow down your buying. If you are buying for 15 days, buy for 8 days. Buy for 8 days, buy for 6 days. Yeah. Relax. You will get this soybean meal as much as you want. Even Davis Bhai said about, I go with the SOPA number 104. You have enough material. And one more thing. Now the export, there's a disparity, $800 plus. So you won't see any export now. For next 3-4 months, there won't be any export. Very small quantity being exported. So that market will also close. So entire quantity would be available in domestic market practically. So market has to cool down, and when industry is not buying the seed at this price because of disparity, so ultimately market has to come down. Wait, relax and wait rather than get panic. That's my advice to my fellow friends here.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Mehta. Can we listen from Dr. Dharmesh Jain on this part? What are his views?
Yeah, I have listened to every view which is quite, I think, realistic. On 2 or 3 things, particularly one is on the futures trading, what you have mentioned. I think this is hurt the industry more than anybody else, in a way that the market has not remained in the hands of the processors as such. It is the prices are ruled by those future exchanges. Now, until and unless we try and ask governments to put some kind of physical deliveries compulsory against all such trading, then only probably we can see some more realistic prices, seen on the exchanges. Because today we don't see any soybean stocks also physically available as demat in NCDEX warehouses. So it has become only a paper trading in all practical purposes. So if there is some kind of supported with actual stocks or actual deliveries to take place, then probably it would somehow, be more realistic in terms of the demand supply equation, and the prices cannot see that kind of a free run or a bull run.
Davish bhai, SOPA should request government to stop NCDX market during lean period.
The point is that it is not directly in hands of SOPA or someone, because it is the largest. Now SEBI controls the whole thing. Now we should ask some solutions to this. And in my view, if you put, let's say, even I would say minimum 10% compulsory delivery against whatever is traded, I think that will put a restraint on indiscriminate, unbridled, kind of, trading, which is only paper trading otherwise. Second point was that, so this is one thing, and if it is supported with some physical delivery stocks available in the warehouse, so it will see itself level with the actual physical markets. On the other side of the import things, let me tell you, as every one of what we have heard, the views of all learned, panelists, that there is enough of soybean, that is for sure. Now, if that is the situation, where is the need for imports? The point is that how do we address this market situation? Do we allow this to run in the hands of bulls or the funds or the speculators? In case we observe, or we have a self-restraint that, okay, this is enough, the market has gone above the roof, so let it cool down. And in that situation, I don't mind even some small substitution to take place in terms of the protein, but at the same time with demand, which is, as Dr. Mehta very rightly said, that although I'm sure, I think now with these prices, most of these feed manufacturers are going hand to mouth as far as their buying is concerned. But let's also make it that instead of, buying left, right, and center in the area when the markets are soaring, don't, add fuel to the fire. So we ourselves are the biggest sufferers. At 70 rupees plus of soybeans, we do not find a crushing margin actually available to us. We can't even derive a minimum crushing cost. This is a fact. Anybody can check the crushing parities. So it's the first thing, the first most hurt is ourselves in the process. So that, because you see, at what price we sell, we don't find ourselves to get a replacement for the beans. But I am sure, I think there's enough stocks sooner than later, I think, should surface in the marketplace and in the marketing yards.
So Dr. Jain, coming to the same question, maybe this is a little sensitive one, but what are your thought process? Don't you think that if government allows some imports, okay, maybe a very minimal quantity, 1 million ton, this is not going to even break the sentiment, and the speculators, as well as the prices are also going to get under control. This is going to benefit everyone.
No, let me tell you, this is more a wishful thinking than anything else. Number one, it is not going to happen. For the reason, genetically modified is not something which you and someone can, say, or I can say, and government will allow. This is forbidden by, as per the country's regulation. Any GN material, it is by Supreme Court of Indian order. Nobody can, supersede that. No government authorities would ever allow you to take it. Now, what remains a possibility is importing non-GM soybean meal. You would be surprised today the premium attached to non-GM soybean meal in the world market. Why is the Indian meal still selling at that price? It is selling at $800 plus in whatever small quantities. This is because non-GM material in the world market is available in a very, very small quantity. The only other producer in the world after India is Brazil and Ukraine. There's no other way where you can source any soy there. Or go to LDC, but they will only supply you soybeans of non-GM. But now non-GM soybeans, you would be surprised, last trade what we heard last week is $845 a ton, because that is only one which is duty free because of low least developed countries. Now getting soybean meal with hefty 35% premium non-GM meal, I don't think that you can get it. Number one, getting it duty free, it's a as I said, it's more of wishful thinking. No government would permit, because there's a huge duty already on this thing. So even government
दविश
relaxed-
भाई एक मिनट, दविश
Yeah.
भाई यहाँ पे स्टॉप करना चाहूंगा आपको।
Yeah.
मेज इंपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट ने अलाउ किया था और हमने नॉन जीएम मेज मंगाया हुआ है पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री ने पास्ट में। अगर गवर्नमेंट हमको अलाउ करेगा तो वी कैन इंपोर्ट नॉन जीएम सोयाबीन मील फ्रॉम यूक्रेन और सम अदर कंट्री।
नॉन जीएम तो पहले आया है, इंडिया में आ चुका है पहले नॉन जीएम सोयाबीन मील। I think our friend Sugna would confirm here. They have brought in some non-GM soybean meal, but at what price? The price would be even more than this today in the world market, because the availability is very, very small. So let us work out on what is available solution within our own system. I am sure, I think we can find a solution within our own system. What we need is self-restraint. Don't allow the prices to, move like this day after day. We have to say that, okay, enough is enough. And I'm sure, I think you can see the prices coming to more realistic level sooner than later. And I think now you have summer season, as Bahadur Ali Sahab has already mentioned, 25% drop in the feed consumption is there during that April, May, June period. And secondly, the inclusion ratios have already gone down as per our own, your own data, which you have said how much is the feed production. I'm sure, I think there is no dearth of soybean meal from the indigenous sources. So the prices, let you buy what is the real need, instead of getting a panic that the prices would keep on going. There's always something high has to come to some kind of reversal or correction at some point of time, and the time I think is right now for that. Thank you.
Okay.
Dinesh, can I add a little bit? Dinesh, can I add it?
Yeah, please.
See, with this current price level, I'm sure the area will be expanded in the coming season, and that will notice right to the June and July. When area expand, naturally the market will also cool down here. When you see the larger area, larger crop coming the September, so definitely it will have also impact the price level which is prevailing today. So that also, but let me tell you, we are against this high price, but definitely farmers are greatly benefited this time, and they will expand the area to a great extent in the coming season. So that will be a plus point or silver lining of this high price. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Dr. Saab, that will benefit us next year and next season, but not now. Okay. So before that, I think let me.
Neeraj, I have one point.
Yes.
I think maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, SOPA, Solvent Extractor Association of India, CLEFMA, and All India Poultry Breeder Association should give joint representation to NCDX to stop this speculation.
Yeah. So
I think it's a high time.
Yeah, Dr. Dinesh will do that.
Only there must be some regulation on the NCDX, but we are against the banning of the future trading. We are not in favor of the banning, but definitely some measure has to be taken by the NCDX or even SEBI. We can write to the SEBI, showing their attention about the high price because of speculation, and some measures should be taken by the NCDX. Yeah.
Definitely, sir. Definitely will do that. So before we end, मैं एक बार वापस रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा भैया से कि बहादुर भैया, व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी अभी अपना आगे का क्या एक्शन होना चाहिए, और एक अपना क्लोजिंग रिमार्क भी दीजिए, बताइए। अभी आपने सबको सुना, सब कुछ देखा आपने लेके, अभी आपका गाइडेंस एक ही है कि इंडस्ट्री को क्या करना चाहिए आज की डेट में, एंड हम आगे इसके लेके कैसे हो जाएं, और ये लड़ाई हम लोग कैसे लड़े आगे जाएंगे।
नीरज जी, एक बात का हमको ख्याल रखना चाहिए, जितने सोया डीओसी के कस्टमर जो यूजर हैं, उनको अपनी यूनिटी बना के अपने को सरकार के पास, एनसीडीएक्स के पास जाके अपना प्रेशर बनाना चाहिए, उनको समझाना चाहिए प्रॉब्लम क्या है, और हमारी इंडस्ट्री को अंडर प्रेशर में नहीं आना चाहिए कि सोया मिलेगा नहीं, अल्टरनेट प्रोटीन पे जाना चाहिए सबको। हर इंडस्ट्री आज जा रही है। मैं अभी डाटा देख रहा था, अभी सौंदरराजन दिखा रहे थे कि दिसंबर में क्रशिंग कितना लाख टन हुआ है, और अभी इतना कम, उससे मैं सोचता हूँ करीब 50% डाउन है। उसके बाद भी हमारी पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री तो हमारे पास सोयाबीन की शॉर्टेज है, आप उससे आधा क्रशिंग हो रही है, और हमारी इंडस्ट्री पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री चल रही है। इसका मतलब है कि हमारे पास पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री की डिमांड ही कम है, और हम ऑलरेडी दूसरे पोल्ट्री में जा चुके हैं, चाहे मेज पोल्ट्री में गए, चाहे अदर बहुत सारे प्रोटीन हम जा चुके हैं। ऐसा बात नहीं कि नहीं है, लेकिन अब हम ही लोग अंडर प्रेशर में आके प्राइस बढ़ा रहे हैं। हमें थोड़ी शांति रखना चाहिए, अदर प्रोटीन पे जाके काम करना चाहिए। अदर प्रोटीन हमारे पास बहुत सारे अल्टरनेटिव, सोया के कारण उनकी प्राइस बढ़ गई, ठीक है, इट्स ओके, बट दूसरे प्रोटीन में जाइए, इसकी कंजम्पशन को कम करेंगे तो हम सोचते हैं 1 महीना 15 दिन के अंदर हम सक्सेस हो जाएंगे। इसके साथ ही हमको सरकार से भी इसमें बात करनी चाहिए कि हमको कैसे सरकार मदद कर सकती है, कैसे एनसीडीएक्स मदद कर सकती है, और सब करने के लिए पूरी यूनिटी हमारे साथ होना चाहिए, चाहे क्लब हो, चाहे सॉवरेंटी एसोसिएशन हो, चाहे पोल्ट्री एसोसिएशन हो, मल्टी के 3-4 एसोसिएशन हो, सब मिलके जब जाके इस पर हम काम करेंगे तो होपफुली हम इसमें सक्सेस होकर एक अच्छी पोजीशन में आके अपनी इंडस्ट्री को प्रॉफिट पहुंचाएंगे। हम किसानों को उनकी प्राइस देना चाहते हैं, हमें उससे कोई इतराज नहीं है, लेकिन जब कोई लोग, कुछ लोग जो इस इंडस्ट्री के नहीं हुआ कि हमारी इंडस्ट्री को इफेक्ट करते हैं, तो हमको उस पर गौर करना चाहिए और मिलके काम करना चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा सोचना है।
बहुत सही सोच भैया। हमारे ख्याल से किसान जिंदा रहेंगे तभी हमारी इंडस्ट्री रहेगी, और इसमें सारी ये इंडस्ट्री साथ में है। हम चाहे वो क्लाफमा हो या फिर पोल्ट्री फीडर हो या कोई भी जो भी कंज्यूमर इंडस्ट्री है, एक्वा फीड की है। तो आई रिक्वेस्ट मिस्टर Soundararajan also to give his final remarks and the observation. So Soundararajan sir.
Yes, sir. We had to approach jointly to the SEBI for the purpose of the things from speculation to the real futures. The market had to move on. For that, what are the controls we have to bring in? Not we cannot bring in, only the SEBI can bring the controls. We have to move for that jointly. That's point number one. Point number two, we are losing per month is about 1,250 crores is the approximate money. Whomever the soya meal users, they are losing money because of the abnormal price increase. It is not going to the farmer also. It's a middleman. Many people, they are storing the material. We can approach the government only on the real user or farmer can store the material, but how much it will be going to be effective, we don't know. Because in the organized channel, there is not much stocking. We can approach the government for a actual user can store the material or farmer can store the material. Middlemen, they cannot store the material. That we can move on to the government side. Third one, we can approach for a small quantities of imports. It will bring the sensitivity. It will come down that this much of the upside price, it will moderate. Even small quantities also fine. But yes, Davis Jain mentioned genetically modified material, it will not be allowed, but we have to approach for it. Anyway, the cotton seed is today cotton seed genetically modified material we are using. Our cattle are consuming. Then why not for this material also? We have to knock the doors. That's my view.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your views. So we have already overshooted 4 minutes. I request Mr. Suresh Devra to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Neeraj. On behalf of CLAFMA and managing committee and myself, I would like to pose a vote of thanks to all our panelists today who have spent their valuable time and to come on this panel discussion, especially Dr. Dinesh Jain, Dr. B.V. Mehta, Mr. Soundararajan, our former chairman, Mr. Bahadur Ali, Dr. Dinesh, again our former chairman, Dr. B. Mastan Rao, and Dr. Krishnan. I hope all the members who attended this webinar have gained immense knowledge or immense the soya situation in this country. I come with few points which we are to take back home today of all the discussion we had. The points are that government regular statistic shows that there has been a 13 million metric ton soya availability, and the largest consumer for both these industries, poultry and aqua. The prices of soya has gone up by 50%. The biggest culprit of this 50% price is what we could gather from this today's webinar is the speculation by the commodity market, NCDX, which is fueled by social media. To ease this, I would, the sentiment was that we should ask the government to allow us to have a sub-sentimental import permission so that there is a reduction in price. And one thing what everyone has to take back is no panic buying. And finally, we have to approach the government collectively on all these things. I would also like to thank all the members who have attended this, my colleagues from CLAFMA, my former chairmen of CLAFMA, staff members of CLAFMA, and the team, and also our media host, that is Highways TV. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Then Neeraj ji.
Yes,
We can close the meeting now.
Suresh ji, so thank you so much. And thanks everyone. I think we are going to share the recordings of this, and which is going to be available. So people can even see that who have not joined and who couldn't join their today's meeting. So thanks again, all my fellow colleagues and all the panelists, respected panelists, for your valuable time and your inputs for this particular session today. Thank you so much.